Episode 32 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career modes here on EAFC 24, and we have 3 games to get to today as usual. We have Burton Albion at home in the league, we have Fleetwood Town away in the league, and then we have Oxford United at home in the league. So what we're going to do today is play this home game against Burton Albion to kick things off, and then we're going to quick sim Fleetwood and Oxford. There's been a big gap between our last game and this Burton Albion game, so chance for a lot of players to get fit, get healthy. So fitness is looking really good for a lot of these players. Sharpness does need to improve slightly for the majority of players though. I think potentially in one of the recent updates to the game, they might have tweaked the training plan slightly, because before I was just leaving like all of my regular first team players on energy focus just to maintain the fitness, and their sharpness was just maintaining through games, whereas now that doesn't seem to be working. Anderson's playing a lot, he's down at 28 sharpness. Lancaster playing a lot, down at 53. Taylor playing a lot, down at 53, so potentially I'll need to rethink that and put some players back on balanced. Eli Just is back from injury as well, so he does return to the starting 11 for this particular game. We're going to run a 4-4-2, so Elliot Willis, I was going to say Elliot Willis in goal. He's down to a 63 now. I think it's time to put Roman Hewitt in goal, to be honest. He's the future of Redmont Rangers. He's only 17 years old, and already he is only 3 overall below Elliot Willis. If we take a look in a second at the squad hub as well, we're going to see Elliot Willis has lost at least 1 overall this year, potentially 2 though. So back 4 of Josh Key, Caleb Taylor, Harrison Stanley and Nick Zoroya. Magoma and Anderson in centre midfield, flanked by Lancaster and Just, and then Jebison and Dale up front. Samson Tavide is going to make an appearance at some point in this episode today as well. Haven't used him a lot recently, and we can see there Elliot Willis, he is down 2 overall this year, whereas Roman Hewitt is only getting better. So we're going to put him in goal, show our faith in the young 17-year-old Australian keeper, and give him his chance to prove that he's the next #1 for Redmont Rangers, rather than Carter Hodgson, rather than one of those other 2 guys that we have in the youth academy who also look fairly promising in Jack James and Will Burton. So we'll see how Roman Hewitt does in this match against Burton Albion. We'll jump into the match report and see what we're going to be up against. The 5-2-3. So I do like our 4-4-2 against 5-2-3 formations. And let's just check out how they're going to be setting up in terms of tactics. Counter-attack. Bodies around the ball in midfield. Winning the ball in their own final third and forwards with passes behind the opposition defence. So going to have to make sure we're not caught out behind today. But I feel good about this. Dale and Jefferson up top. There should be some goals in us. We can get a goal or 2 and hang on to that lead. I like us to win the game.
And welcome to a game that really should have pulses racing. Every reason to believe this will be.
So I'd like a strong, quick start to the game. I don't want us to expose ourselves too early though, especially with Burton Albion planning to set up to counter-attack. So
well, Derek, as is always the case, the team that dominates midfield will be the team that controls the flow of the game.
Really good ball from Josh Key out to Nick Zoroya. And I think there's going to be space in behind in those wide areas today, with the fullbacks getting forward to link up with the wide midfielders and take on the single fullback on either side of the Burton Albion defence. It's partly why I like these 4-4-2 formations against 5 at the back, just because you can isolate a single wing back on each side who doesn't really have much support in front of him in terms of a winger or a wide midfielder. So that's exactly how we need to defend. But an Albion going to be looking to get bodies forward on the counter-attack, so we're going to have to do just as well getting bodies back to smother those kinds of counter-attacks. Oh, there's far too much on that from Nick Zoroya. completely overhits the pass there. Eli Justin made a good run in behind.
The focus on him coming into today's game. The question was, will he feature?
Eli just returning from injury. Has not played a great deal so far this season because of that injury.
Enough to start this one, Stuart.
Yeah, I think that's a boost for everyone. As long as he's fully recovered, I'm going to keep a close eye on him in the early stages of the game. I want to make sure he is fully fit.
Jefferson with a really good performance, not in the last game but in the last episode. 2 assists and the winning goal in a 3-2 victory against Walsall. So good to see him back up front again today. Partnering Jake Dale today, which is not something we've seen too often. Ordinarily we play with one striker. Oh, it's really well worked. Good save from Roman Hewitt. Well worked from Burton Albion. Turning the Redmont defenders inside out there. We could have a chance to counter-attack ourselves here with Paris Magoma. Eli just making a really good run in behind there, but just never really an opportunity or a gap to feed it through to him there.
Stanley.
I do think we're going to have to work the ball wide as often as we can, to be honest. Josh Key with a good turn of pace. Dangerous cross. Unfortunately, Redmont Rangers players not in a dangerous position to take advantage of the good cross that Josh Key had put in there. But now being quite a narrow team, but they find the opportunity to work it wide themselves. Harrison Stanley's going to have to come across and prevent the cross there. And the assistant referee again is waving his flag. Referees in recent games have been so strict. And yet that isn't a foul. Caleb Taylor headers the ball away. And he's absolutely wiped out, and Ryan Lancaster somehow has found a gap here. Ball goes out for a throw-in rather than a corner. For a minute there, Ryan Lancaster was in a lot of space. Another good challenge from the Burton Albion defender, and the ball goes out for another throw-in. Not too much on for Lancaster here, trying to control Eli Just. Puts the ball in. Daniel Jefferson's not quite going to get there at the back post. Taking up a good position though, which is something we don't necessarily see from him all the time. Oh, and a really bad touch from the Burton Albion defender, and he does well to get the ball away in the end. We wanted a little run in behind from Jake Dale there, but he was kind of flat-footed as Brandon Anderson played the ball into him. Harrison Stanley steps up to meet the player. The ball is passed into his feet, but that kind of left an uncomfortably large gap in behind there. Doesn't come back to haunt us, but for a moment there it looked like Burton Albion might be able to forge something.
Anderson.
Really slow, kind of cagey start to the game. Just not a great deal going on, not a massive amount of space in either half. And Nick Soroya again has overhit the pass. Really struggling to find Eli Just and get any chemistry going with him down that left-hand side. Oh, Daniel Jefferson presses well and wins the ball back. Jake Dale makes a run through on goal, and he finds himself in space, and he hits it straight at the goalkeeper. That's so unlike Jake Dale. You'd bet the house on Jake Dale to score from those kinds of positions. Really good pressing from Daniel Jefferson, wins the ball back high up the pitch, plays Jake Dale in immediately, but he's unable to find the back of the net there. First clear opportunity of the game falls to Redmont Rangers, and if there's anyone you'd want it to fall to, it'd be Jake Dale.
Stanley.
Oh, almost well worked there on that left-hand side. Burton Albion playing very deep though, very compact, until they spring away on the counter-attack like they're doing here. Harrison Stanley again does really well to get across and deal with it though. Burton Albion potentially out of position on the left-hand side here now. Oh, defender does well though. It's a dangerous situation for Burton Albion for a moment there. Paris McGomb has been very quiet so far today. Not mentioned his name so far, really. Again, the referee doesn't like the challenge, but he waves play on this time. Good save from Roman Hewitt again to hold the ball there. You would have forgiven him just for parrying the ball away, but he manages to hold on to it. And Josh Key will set Ryan Lancaster away. He's not going to have the pace to reach the ball, but he does have the persistence. Doesn't quite come away with it though. Daniel Jefferson will press the goalkeeper high. Does well just to clear. Brandon Anderson challenges for the header but can't win it.
Yes, the problem seems to be in that last challenge. He took a massive blow to his upper thigh. He's struggling at the moment, but hasn't asked to come off.
Cheers, Jeff.
Keem Harper, the player the commentators were just talking about there, who's picked up a knock by the sounds of it.
It looks promising. Options in the middle. Well, I don't think that effort from
good defending there. Burton Albion had a lot of possession there. They're working the ball around down their right hand side, but we did exactly what we needed to do, just kept our shape, pressed the player with the ball when we needed to, stopped the cross, and I'm finding it really hard to break Burton Albion down at this point. They're defending so deep and so compact. Reckless challenge from the Burton player there. Fortunate not to catch Brandon Anderson. I think that's our best chance of scoring right now, is getting the ball wide and putting a cross into the box for Jake Dale and Daniel Jefferson. They're both good in the air. Both big, strong, physical players. Good interception from Brandon Anderson. Goma sets Lancaster away. Waits for Josh Key's overlap, which he now finds. Josh Key cuts inside. Oh, he can't beat the next player though. Couldn't quite find an angle to thread the ball through to Dale or Jefferson. Two players on the outside meant he couldn't cut back outside and put a cross in either, so just had to carry the ball forward. Back on defensive duties now though, which he does well. It's going to be his turn to send Lancaster away. The ball blocked by Burton Albion though. And we'll try the left hand side instead. Eli just absolutely clattered by the Burton Albion player, but the referee doesn't blow his whistle. He's given free kicks for far less than that to Burton so far.
The electronic board showing one additional minute. Walker in possession.
Half-time whistle goes then, 0-0. Not too much going on in that first half. One chance for Jake Dale really is all there's been in that first half, to be honest. So we're going to have to try and step things up a little in the second half. Potentially a change to make at half-time, and I am going to make it. Paris Magoma has been very quiet in that first half, and I feel like we've lacked creativity in midfield as a result. So Magoma's going to come off at half-time, and Michael Garbett is going to replace him. Jake Dale, very persistent, wins the ball back. Sets Lancaster away down the right. Not too much going on in the box at this stage. Just tries to cut the ball back. And again, the referee's not blowing his whistle. Eli just takes the ball down, lays it off for Brandon Anderson, but he fires wide. It was a right-footed shot. His left foot is his stronger of the two. Doesn't look like it took a deflection at any point, so it's just a goal kick for Burton Albion. The referee's been very inconsistent so far, though. The free kicks that he gave Burton in the first half, he's just not interested in giving us.
He's given the ball away.
Looks for a moment there like we might catch Burton Albion with a slightly higher line than usual, and we have caught Burton Albion out here. Jake Dale has the ball, driving towards the goal, fires with his right foot. Maybe took too long to take the shot, potentially should have taken it on earlier. Made the decision though to drive across goal and then fire back across. Hits it too close to the goalkeeper though, and he parries it wide. That's two really good opportunities for Jake Dale to score, and he hasn't taken either of them.
And there's the delivery. With a great clearance.
Michael Garbett with a great strike, takes it down on his chest, lashes the ball towards goal, and again it's a really good save from the Burton Albion goalkeeper. The ball came through bodies again. So difficult one for him to see potentially.
Playing it in. Struggling to get it away.
Jake Dale at the back post, can't quite get there. The ball does go out for,
And he couldn't quite get himself.
I was going to say another corner there, but Jake Dale actually offside. So Burton Albion are going to get a free kick instead. Good start to the second half though. Good period of pressure for Redmont Rangers. Have to make that pressure count though. And Ryan Lancaster just drifting offside that time. The pass was actually intended for Michael Garbett. But Ryan Lancaster steps back and picks up the pass. But he's coming back from an offside rather position. It's got to be a handball in there, and it is. Brandon Anderson just trying to find Jake Dale around the corner. Blocked by the Burton Albion player's hand. Well, lovely little pass from Michael Garbett, and that's exactly what we were missing in that first half. Those creative little passes from midfield up to the forward players. Nice ball from Jefferson out to Key as well, who will cross. Finds Lancaster at the back post. He squandered the chance indeed, but again I think he was offside anyway. So the goal wouldn't have counted. Just offside this time. Not the best header from Lancaster. Wouldn't have mattered even if it was the best header, since it was offside anyway, but you'd like to see him at least put those kind of opportunities on target. We know he's not the best in the air, headering not his strong point, but you have to get those at least on target. Make the keeper make a save. Oh, lovely ball from the Burton Albion player. Just cut our line in two there. Oh, it's a great save from Roman Hewitt. Caleb Taylor unable to get a foot in there, and the Burton player just rolled him. But Roman Hewitt with another really good save. He's looked good so far today. Burton enjoying a period of pressure of their own now.
Moving the ball nicely, but can they forge ahead? And a chance to pivot in here. Something like that will help the cause.
Struggling to get out of our final third. Burton really piling the pressure on. They've got a lot of players forward, so if we can win the ball back. Oh, like we did with Josh Key there, but gives the ball straight back. Had an opportunity there to potentially launch a counter-attack. If we could have won the ball back and held it. Burton had committed a lot of players forward.
Good players in.
Good challenge from Brandon Anderson. Jake Dale slips it through for Lancaster. Nobody's in the box. It's exactly the kind of position you want Jake Dale to be in, but he's the one that started the attack there. Daniel Jefferson has got to take up a more threatening attacking position than that.
Can he find the right pass?
Oh, it's a great sliding challenge. It's one thing I have noticed about Daniel Jefferson. His attacking positioning is not the best. He's not the smartest, the most intelligent of players at this stage by the looks of it. He is big, strong, physical, pacey, good finisher. But he needs to get into a position to finish more often. Lovely switch of play from Michael Garbutt. Nick Zaroya wins the header. Eli just tries to beat his man out wide, which he manages to do and drive into the box. Lancaster at the back post can't get his head on it. Not quite tall enough.
And pressing from the front.
Good challenge from Josh Key. Wins the ball back immediately and the referee blows his whistle. Those are exactly the kind of fouls that weren't being called for us. Yet Burton seemed to be getting them every time. Two changes, Tavide on, Maya Walter on. Lancaster and Dale off.
Good weight on that pass. Smooth in possession.
It's been a really frustrating performance from the referee. He hasn't made a decision that's impacted the game too heavily. It's just been the inconsistency of his decisions more than anything. He's given free kicks to one side that he's not given to the other.
Selfish play.
Oh, it's a really good challenge there.
Offside. He needed to look elsewhere because the flag was always going to go up.
Well, they are committed to making the substitution here. Anderson. Rangers charging forward with options available.
Nick Zaroya just shut out there. There were no options for him. No options down the line. No options inside. Tried to find Brandon Anderson, but even he was taken away by the Burton Albion midfielder. Burton Albion do look like they're pressing for a goal a little more now. Not quite content to sit back at this stage of the game. They feel like they can get something from it. So the game is a little more open now. Much more open than it was in the first half, which was a very cagey affair. Good challenge from Brandon Anderson. That does mean there are going to be gaps in behind now for players like Samson Tavide to exploit. Plays the ball inside to Eli Just. They are very quick to get players back though, Burton Albion. Garbutt in a little bit of space down the right hand side. Can't find enough space to cross though. Steady squares it to Maya Walter. Return squares it to Brandon Anderson. Space on the left hand side if we can find Zaroya, which we can't. Anderson just dithering for too long on the ball there. Good interception from Nick Zaroya, who's going to come away with the ball. Inside to Samson Tavide, who's going to have space to run at the defence. Not too much going on in the box. Pulls it back. Maya Walter takes it down on the edge of the box. He's surely fouled there, and he is. That was very close to a penalty. It was a free kick. Just outside the penalty area though. Hassan is going to come on for Anderson. We have to remember we made a change at half time. So we've only got the one extra change to make now, which is going to be De Silva. Eli Just back in the side. He's our best free kick taker. So potentially we will shoot directly this time rather than laying it off. And we will see what we can do here. Straight at the wall, not anywhere near enough elevation on it. Really dangerous play from the Burton Albion defence though, playing the ball across their own 6-yard box. Really sloppy pass there as well, and Daniel Jefferson's chance to drive at the Burton Albion defence. Oh, a nice little back heel from Walter, but too many bodies in the way for him to find Samson Tavide. Burton Albion come away with it. Richard Hassan's going to have to come back and cover, which he does well. Still Burton Albion finds a way through the line though. Richard Hassan's not giving it up just yet, and he forces a poor pass that Josh Key takes down. We want Mael Walter in behind. I'm not sure he's going to be pacey enough to get there, but he does force the Burton Albion player to put the ball out. We're going to be risky here. We're going to go ultra attacking for the last 5 minutes. It is a risk. Burton Albion could well spring a counter attack and catch us out here. Another really risky pass. Playing the ball back to the goalkeeper when Redmont Rangers players were pressing high. Josh Key with the ball in. Mael Walter gets his head on it, but can't get clean enough contact to direct the ball towards goal. Really poor pass. Hassan can't quite bring it down though. Tries to chest it down where he would have had a free strike on goal, but it was a difficult ball to control, to be fair. And this is what I meant about getting caught out behind. Hassan already back to cover though. Burton put the ball in. The ball falls to Eli Just. He has to try and come away with it. Can't find too much space though. Big switch of play, but a Burton Albion defender is there. Attacker rather. And this is where we could be exposed. This was the danger of going all-out attack. Caleb Taylor does really well though. Daniel Jefferson with a big diagonal ball out wide. Can't find Mael Walter though. And it looks like this game might be limping to a 0-0 draw.
Plenty of pressure. Ryan Sweeney. Haber.
Samson Tavide trying his best to win the ball back and launch one last attack, but doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Really good build-up, but no end product.
Ball over the top from Hewitt. Does go out of play and the referee does blow his whistle.
It's a share of the points here, but no goals on.
Mixture of cheers and jeers around Redmont Arena. Not sure which set of fans are going to be happier with the draw. I think you have to assume it's Burton Albion. They came with a game plan and they played it out to perfection, to be fair to them. The pre-match report said that they were going to defend and then try and launch a counter-attack. That's exactly how they played it. They defended really well in that first half. Really tight, really compact, really deep inside their own half. And completely stifled our attacks. Got a little bit more ambitious in the second half and actually finished with the most possession and the most passes by far, but with fewer shots. We definitely had the better chances of the game. Roman Hewitt did make a couple of good saves though. But the game does finish with a 0-0 draw. It's not the worst result. We are unbeaten in 6 games now, so can't be too disappointed with another point towards the tally. And potentially if we can get a couple of wins in these next 2 games that we're going to quick sim, then again it's going to be another very successful episode. 2 consecutive episodes unbeaten so far. Trying to make it a 3rd. We have gone some way to achieving that with that 0-0 draw and an extra point on the board. So we'll see what we can do in these 2 quick sim games. A couple of extra players added to the youth academy there. I just want to take a look at them and see what they look like. I might not keep them. So we've got Fleetwood Town in the next game away from home. I'm going to rotate the team slightly. I think I'm going to stick with that 4-4-2. Eli has only just come back from injury, so he's not the freshest. What will come back in, Gibbs can hit the bench. I think I will play Luca Morrow up front in place of Samson Tavide and Daniel Jefferson today, who will hit the bench. Dorset, I think, can come in for Stanley, and De Silva can start the game ahead of Zoroya. Other than that, we're going to keep it the same. Roman Hewitt remains in goal. Fleetwood Town on 22 points, so not having the worst season. They're also going to play 5 at the back. So we'll see what we can do against Fleetwood Town in this quick sim game. We come away with a 2-0 win, which is more than fine. Luca Morrow misses a penalty in the 10th minute, but does get on the score sheet just before half-time. And then Garbett seals the game with a second goal in the 87th minute. So 2-0 victory for Redmont Rangers. But Albion grab another 0-0 draw against Port Vale. Abdullahi Ali is not happy, and he's requesting a transfer by the looks of it. So he signed on a free to Redmont Rangers, but he's not having the best time here. So Matthew Garbett starts like basically every game, so I'm not sure why he's so upset. Sam Ford, I can understand it a little bit more. Roman Hewitt feels like he's ready for regular games now, and he's going to get regular games. You have made that decision to put him into the starting lineup, and he hasn't let us down yet, so he'll continue as the number 1. I'm going to try and get a couple of players in. Oh, we didn't start Garbett for 2 straight games, so actually, yeah, maybe it is fair enough that he's a little bit disappointed with that. Who else wanted to play? Eli Justice still not quite 100% fresh. Morrow the same. And Zoroya. We're still going to have to tweak these. Got sharpness a little higher on most of our starting 11 now, but it seems to disappear so quickly now, which it didn't before. So we're up to 8th position in the league now, just 2 points away from those playoff places. So if we can round out this episode with another quick sim result, not necessarily a victory, I'd be content enough with a draw here against Oxford United. Stanley does want to play in this game, and I did put him back in. So yeah, if we can grab at least a draw here against Oxford United, preferably a win, but I would be content enough with another point. That would be the 3rd consecutive game, or episode rather, unbeaten. And we do manage to get a draw. It didn't look like we were going to, and now we're gone, and we were 2-0 down after goals from Brown and Bowden. But a goal from Anderson shortly after to bring it back to just a single goal deficit, and then Nick Zoroya on the score sheet. We're not going to see that too often, but Nick Zoroya there on the score sheet in the 84th minute does get us a draw. So 2 draws and a victory in this game. Another episode unbeaten. Another 5 points to add to the tally, and we are now 8 games unbeaten. Team morale still not particularly high though. I think just because so many players are unhappy with the lack of playtime that they're getting, and that might be something we have to address in January, to be fair. Selling a few players on who aren't really playing a role. Richard Hassan, the same, is not happy with the game time that he's getting. So I think if we head over to Squad Hub, we're going to see that they have requested, submitted a transfer request. Submitted a transfer request. So those guys will be out in January. And I think we might have to look into some other players who aren't getting the play time that they would like. So how many centre-backs have we got? Stanley, Hutton, Ali is on the way out. Bullock, Suhail, Taylor, Dorset. So potentially Hutton or Suhail could be on their way out as well. And then possibly the same for midfield as well. So FA Cup game to start off in the next episode. I do want to take a look at the League One standings though. We are still in 8th position and we are only a point away now from the playoffs, who did gain. We only got a point in the last game, but it looks like Blackpool, Bristol Rovers potentially as well, lost their previous games. So we do gain on those playoff teams again. Ipswich Town still ahead at the top there, not running away with it quite as much as they were early on in the season though, but still comfortably top with a massive 22 goal difference and 43 points to their name. Charlton Athletic, the other team in the automatic promotion places, but Portsmouth are hot on their tails. Rotherham United not too far behind. Bristol Rovers and Blackpool round out the playoff places, but Reading are level on points. We're just a point behind. Lincoln, Shrewsbury just 2 points behind, and then Plymouth only a win behind the playoff places. So very, very tight at the top of the table. If we look at the bottom of the table, Walsall are down in 15th. Stockport are down in 21st. And then Wrexham are down bottom of the league in 24th with just 9 points and a minus 24 goal difference. So really poor season from Wrexham so far. Much, much better season from Redmont Rangers. Up in 8th position and just a point off the playoffs. So let's take a look at what we've got in store in the next episode. We round out November with that game against Colchester in the FA Cup. And then we move into December with games against Wigan and then high-flying Portsmouth, who are up towards the top of the table. Wrexham next month as well. Stockport, so 2 other teams who were promoted along with us from League 2. And we are getting very, very close to January. So we're going to have to start thinking about what we want our transfer strategy to be. There's going to be probably more departures than arrivals. We do only have $1 million left in the budget. So it is a bit of money to spend, but not a massive amount. Potentially, there might be a little more to spend if we do manage to sell players like Ali, like Hassan, like potentially, 1 or 2 other midfielders that maybe aren't quite getting as much game time as they would like. So lots to think about in December as we approach January, but we've got a couple of games to get to in the next episode before that, starting with Colchester in the FA Cup. So we'll look forward to that in the next episode. Until that episode, take it easy.